I've been reading with immense interest the research that you've undertaken, which has led to you reimagining gender diversity programming. So please share with us why you believe we need a different approach now.
Yeah, for years, we've done exceptional work driving DEI in the workplace. And we've done it by really focusing on mitigating bias, on striving for equity of opportunity, on increasing representation. But what we've missed is the other half of the equation, which is that we have agency. We make choices to come to work, to stay with our employers. We're motivated or we're not. And we've never really solved for that half of the problem. And the pandemic just shone a bright light on that gap. And especially as we're now coming back to the workplace and we're seeing the Great Resignation, or I've heard it referred to as a post-traumatic kind of growth experience that we're collectively going through, we're acting on that agency. And if there was ever a time to say, I need to influence how my employees experience the workplace and the decisions that they make about their career, this is it. And that has to come in the context of a reframing of how we approach diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Thank you. So let's explore that just a little bit further, because I know that our audiences will be keen to understand the how. How can organizations practically address the needs and motivations of women in the workforce?
So the way I would think of it is just like you might pick a particular brand of cereal. You come to work every day and say, there are a set of needs I'm looking to resolve. Some of them are very functional. I need a paycheck. I need benefits. And some of them are more emotional in nature. I need to feel respected. I need to feel valued. I need to feel more secure. And the unlock is for companies to really understand what that set of needs are that their employees are solving for, and to rethink the way that they develop solutions such that they're really targeting those needs. Many companies solve for the functional side. They get at the better pay, they get at the maternity leave. They often neglect the more emotional. And that's where we really need to think about things like what we celebrate, leadership behaviors. How do I actually experience when I take advantage of some of those programs that may have been made available to me, et cetera, et cetera. And that's where the hard work really starts to kick in.
So what's next for the research? I can definitely see parallels with other dimensions of diversity, or indeed informing DE&I programs more broadly. What's next?
It's an exciting time. We started with a focus on women, and we're in the process of expanding that research across multiple countries around the world, recognizing that kind of the inherent cultural context is really different from geography to geography. We're also expanding, as you note, across diverse cohorts, whether it be LGBTQ or people of color or individuals with physical disabilities. The patterns remain consistent. There's a real need to solve for those underlying needs that are shaping decisions. And then, of course, as we think even more expansively, we start to find these connections that exist across different demographic cohorts inside any individual company, and starting to build those bridges. Whether you say, there's a caretaker need that sits across men, across women, parents, those taking care of spouses or elderly parents, they share a lot in common, and we can actually start to think much, much more holistically beyond those demographic boxes that we've put people into, about how our programs, our efforts can be much more efficacious across a broader segment of the workforce.
Thank you. Look, it's a pleasure talking to you, Gabby. I could sit and talk about this for much, much longer. You've heard about it here today. Please do go check it out. The research is fascinating. Thank you so much for sharing this with us, Gabby.
Thank you, Pamela. It was a pleasure.